In this guitar lesson, I'm going to show you how to play an arrangement of the Christmas classic White Christmas. I'm going to show you this arrangement in 3 stages or levels that gradually get more complex. These levels will show you the process of how I make fingerstyle arrangements so that you can use this method to make your own fingerstyle arrangements. Plus, by the end of this lesson, you will have a cool fingerstyle version of White Christmas that you can play on acoustic guitar or electric guitar that you can play to your family and friends this Christmas. Welcome to Dave's Guitar Club. Love music, learn music, and make music. Get the free tabs for this arrangement from the link in the description box below, and also check out my Patreon page where you can support the channel as well. The first stage and first step in making a fingerstyle arrangement for me is to learn the melody. You see, the melody is what we're going to be building everything else around. You can learn the melody any way you like, really. You can use YouTube videos, tabs, sheet music, play it by ear if you can. It doesn't really matter how you learn the melody. I'm going to provide the tabs for the melody alone in the description box as well. The second stage is to add the bass notes of the chords, which is going to imply the chord progression. The melody needs to be played at the same time as the bass notes, so you need the bass notes to ring out whilst you play the melody. This means that you'll need to keep your finger in place that's playing the bass note in position whilst you play the melody on top of it. You might have to play the melody with different fingers to the fingers you use when you play the melody on its own. I find that having the bass note being played with the finger that you use whilst playing the chord is a good place to start and work the melody around that. For example, the melody in the first bar is literally just playing the B string open. So that's going to be really easy to do with playing this G note on top for the bass note. The next bar, I need to play the G note on the bass again because we're still on a G chord, but the melody now is going to be... So I need to make sure that I've got this third finger playing the 3rd fret of the low E string, the G note, and playing this melody on top of it. And I'm going to have to use my little finger to play that 3rd fret on the G string where I just played it with my 3rd finger before. You see, the 3rd finger is now being used to play this bass note, so I'm going to have to change my fingers around a little bit to make sure I can play it. final stage is to fill in the remaining gaps in between the melody and the bass notes with finger picking patterns using the full chord shapes. So start by keeping it simple and make sure the melody doesn't get lost. A tip to do this is to keep the melody in the highest register and start with filling in the spaces when you have gaps in between the melody first of all. You can add more parts that happen during the melody later if you think the arrangement needs it. So for example, this first bar is quite straightforward because the melody note is just the B string played open and we've got the G bass note played at the same time, but then we've got a big gap before the next bar. So in that gap I'm going to use this picking pattern that comes up quite a lot in this piece, which is the D string, G string, D string. So we get then the picking pattern again. And I kind of built everything around that. One last tip I want to give about arrangements is that if you have sections in which you can repeat things, repeating things will help the arrangement sound more fluent and flowing. My general picking pattern in this piece stays the same as I've already mentioned, and this helps me to keep the music flowing and keeps it all together. I will play my arrangement now so you can hear what I came up with. Feel free to make your own arrangement first and then compare yours to mine. That's the arrangement, and I hope this has given you some insight into making fingerstyle arrangements for yourself. And if not, this will be a great thing for you to play for your family and your friends this Christmas. Get the tabs for free from the link in the description box, and remember, check out my Patreon page as well. There's lots of cool stuff that goes up on there as well. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and have a great Christmas, guys. I'll see you next time.